And we're live. Let's see, what can I do? Share it. Share. Sharing it to Facebook. All right. Uh, Hello, people. I see you. I'm just waiting for a few more people before I start yapping. Yeah, I broke a fucking tooth. Gonna get it fixed. But the show must go on. So I'll go ahead without the damn tooth. Well, hello, my channel. You're on my channel, so you probably already know who I am. I'm Uncle Birch. I teach witchcraft. That's my thing. I have other things, but that's my thing that concerns you. I teach witchcraft for a living. That's my job. And on this channel, you probably have seen, I started a class in March. It got full. A year and a day course in witchcraft. I hadn't done that in a while. Started doing it again. Started in March. That class filled up. May 1st, Beltane. Started another one. That filled up. August 1st, Lunasa. Started another one. It filled up. Now I got to start another one starting November 1st. A year and a day course in witchcraft under Witch School. So I'm on this teaching frenzy these days. So I do these things. Also to plug the class too, of course. But I do this to keep myself ready for all of the random questions that new witches are going to ask, and as a community service to whatever channel I'm on, and today I'm on my channel. So definitely, I want to provide community service to my channel, because the people on my channel are the coolest people ever. Clearly. Or you wouldn't be here. Unless you're a troll. But I don't have a whole lot of those. I've been kind of fortunate compared to a lot of my colleagues. But we do this little thing. It's called Ask Uncle Birch. And you can ask me almost any question about witchcraft, magic, any type of magic. And I'll probably have something to say about it. I only ask that you try not to be too long-winded. A good idea to copy your questions so you can paste them again later after I miss them. And try not to ask me a question while I'm answering a question. It's not hard. Hello, Tyrone. My favorite Christian. Yeah. You probably are. I'll give you that. Yeah. So, I'm waiting for somebody to ask a question. Go ahead. See what you got. We've got enough people in here now to start. Go ahead. Yeah, that's true. Well, damn. Nobody's got a question yet? Come on. Come on, what you got? If I don't get any questions here, I'll go to another channel. Archangels as Grigori. No. Archangels are different than the Grigori. In my tradition, the god responsible for this plane was kind of experimenting. He tried out several different types of species to see if they would achieve a certain level of enlightenment on this planet. And the Grigori were the first to achieve it. But that god did not yet have a plan for what to do with the first species to achieve such an enlightenment. So he placed the Grigori as the watchers at the four quarters, the gatekeepers between worlds, if you will. The archangels are an entirely different thing, and nothing to do with the Grigori at all. Angels are very different than Grigori. That's all I really say about that. Next, what you got? Do you believe that people can bind the bloodline of the holy books like a legal contract? No, not so much. I mean, I've seen a hex on an entire bloodline, but the people of the bloodline do different things, so binding doesn't tend to work with a bloodline. I don't think so. All right, that's what I have to say about that. In a bloodline, you got too many different strokes for different folks to make that a standard. But yeah, I mean, maybe some bloodlines you can bind, but I don't know. My profound secrets, thanking me and stuff. Well, thank you for thanking me. Thank you. Have you worked with jinn? I did a long time ago. I don't know what I would have to say about that now, but early, after reading the Book of the Law of Crowley, I did do some work with some jinn. Not really my forte, not my standard practice, but yes, I have. I am Uncle Birch. You're on my channel. You know who I am. How are you, Uncle Birch? I'm doing good. Thank you, Byra. Something that faded away before I could reference your name, but I'm doing good. How are you? Here, in the heart of Hollywood, already been to church today. Hopefully all of you are back from church. But yeah, it's all good. The weather is kind of cooler. It's like mid 70s now. We've been up into like the triple digits lately. How many Christian students do I have, Tyrone? That I know of? You, Tyrone, you're it. You are it. Tag. You're the only one I know of. Don't have a whole lot of Christian students. Yeah. All right. We're waiting for questions. We're doing Ask Uncle Birch. You can ask me any question about any type of magic, and I probably have something to say. You'll see. Just give it a shot. What is my preference for magic? Well, I think you've heard the answer before, Tyrone, but I'll give it for the other people. I have a large bag of tricks. I have a lot of different magics and witchcrafts and traditions in my bag of tricks. And I say in this day and age, like if I have a couple months to wait for it to manifest, I will do classical witchcraft. If I need it tomorrow, I'm gonna go Palo. My Lucero's back here, so that's why I said Palo. Palo is rather drastic. It's rather immediate. It's rather in your face. Let's see. Best offerings to give to Jupiter or Mercury. Jupiter, I would say, look for what plants correspond to Jupiter. Those would be, what you would offer to Jupiter is the plants corresponding to Jupiter. Same thing with Mercury, but anything involving communication is good for Mercury. Rosemary be a great offering to Mercury. That's what I would say. But you need to do some research, see what plants are associated with Jupiter. Give those things to Jupiter. I mean, all spirits and deities seem to want alcohol, tobacco, and herbs associated with them. Candy too, chocolate. It's almost good for everything. Everybody wants chocolate. I don't know why. But that would be my answer to that one. It's not that hard. All right, waiting for a question. If we don't get questions, I will go somewhere else and get questions. Do you carry a Jupiter-based oil? I do, but I am not soliciting customers. I'm not going out of my way. I have more business in my website than I can keep up with right now. I am a couple months behind on all orders. My orders, I brew in accordance with magical timing, which can also already take a month. But then I'm a couple months behind because I do everything, and I have to do everything in the order they were received. And right now, I'm trying to get all my students' orders out. They have a priority. My students get their orders before anybody else, and I'm still behind on my students' orders. There's just only so much that one man can do. So yeah, I do have a Jupiter oil. I'm not recommending that you buy it for me right now. Yes, I have too much. I'm literally considering closing the shop for about a month. To catch up. Just close the shop, catch up on orders. I'm so fucking behind. I have more business than I can deal with right now, and I'm probably gonna have to hire people to do that or something, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something very different than what I've been doing for some time, because I have more business than I can deal with right now. But yes, I do carry that. If you order that, be patient. Gonna be a while. Sorry, but I'm probably going to have to expand to something else. You're not gonna let me see that? God damn it. Something about can Dominion oil be reversed? I'm sure it can. Almost anything can be reversed, unless they program something so you can't reverse it into the spell. But Dominion oil be reversed or engineered to use psychic defense? Yes, I think it can. Anything can be reversed unless your adversary has planned for that. Most people don't. Most people don't. So, yes, that's the answer to that. I'm just reading things that go by. I didn't see any questions yet. If you got a question, go ahead and ask. Ask Uncle Birch. I probably have something to say about it. Best psychic defense that I recommend is transformation. I have a few videos on that. Transforming poverty, psychic self-defense shields up. Between those videos, Studio Switch should be able to figure out the formula therein. I'm not going to lay that all out unless you want to go to gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL, and buy the Feeding on Your Enemies video. Spiritual Warfare, Feeding on Your Enemies shows you the full ritual for transformation, fuller than you'll ever find it on my YouTube channels, but transformation is the most devious psychic defense ever. It really messes up the attacker. The attacker seems to think that their attack has been received on the other end. There's no defense really for it. You can't reverse the transformation that's built into the transformation. Devious. That's so, yes. Transforming the energy is probably the most devious, more devious. I mean, the standards are, reversal, shielding, counterattack. With transformation, none of these are necessary. It's all built into it. So I would say that. Hello, Felice. Merry meet to you as well. Stone Witch. Apollo's coming along great. I have no contact really with my Tata for quite some time. So I've had to figure out Apollo by myself. And I've had to leave it to communicating directly with my spirits, my Nkisi, my Eguns, my ancestors, and I've come up with a pretty good system without the trappings of Paulo proper. And I will probably start teaching some Paulo soon, because there's nothing to prohibit me from doing so at this point. I'm a Polero, I'm a Tata Impalo, and pretty much been kicked loose to figure it out on my own. That's cool. I do that to people too. So it's going pretty well. I'm figuring out a lot of stuff. A lot of my Paulo doesn't correspond to other people's Paulo. But that's what happens when you try and have an oral tradition. There will be variations on the tradition, and nobody's going to be able to narrow them down. And that's Paulo. Paulo's an oral tradition, and they don't want to write anything down. And as such, there are countless variations of Paulo. And mine will be another. My Paulo, when I release my Paulo, will be another version of Paulo that will contradict a lot of the others. And that's my right as a Tata. I get to do that. I paid my dues, I paid my money, went through my initiations, and now I'm a Polero, I'm a Tata, and I'll do what I'm going to do with those things. So it's going pretty well. Isn't that how it works? Well, yes, that is. A lot of Poleros will disagree, but I have a very different version of Palo that is manifest through my experimentation than a lot of my colleagues. My ancestors, even though I have ancestors of many colors, have not expressed bigotry. They have not expressed homophobia. They have not expressed misogyny. Those are my ancestors. But a lot of ancestors in Palo absolutely express those things, and a lot of Palo follows those things. My Palo does not. And the world gonna have to deal with that soon when I finally start talking Palo. But I haven't yet started talking Palo. And I'm going to piss a lot of people off. Intuition. How can I increase intuition? Work with the moon. Never miss a full moon, a new moon. Work with the moon. Get you some mugwort. Burn it. Smell it. Sleep with it in your pillow. Smoke it. Roll it up like a joint. Smoke mugwort. That's what I would say. All right. What is Sunday? I only have so much time to give to this, so I'm going to do a few more questions. Then I got to do some stuff. Definitely smoked mugwort before. I bet you sweated. Mugwort makes you hot. What? God damn it. I hate when you fade away like that. I didn't even get to see that question. Oh, there it is. What type of spells would you recommend to scramble tarot readings? Other institutions to throw off the end. You know, one of the things that I don't see enough in tarot is flipping the deck. When we shuffle the deck, we have two pieces of the deck. One piece of the deck we need to go and put it back in the deck. If we don't reverse one half of the deck, reversals are meaningless. We've not offered enough randomality to the reversed cards for them to do that. So we've got to have an established that we're going to flip one hand every time we shuffle. Otherwise, the tarot cards are not going to be scrambled enough. Hopefully that's an answer to what you're asking. It's kind of, I could go a couple ways with that question, but that's something that I don't see enough expressed. Like, if you're going to be reading reverse tarot cards, you need to have a process in your shuffling that reverses the cards. Nobody talks about that. I don't know why. All right. Let me do another couple questions, and I gotta go do some other stuff. Do you have a Discord server? Or do you have any plans to order one server? Okay, I'm thinking servitor, but you said server. No, I don't. I don't have any plans to open one because I don't know what that is, but no. Would you like some more tricky questions? Well, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm only going to do a couple more questions, then I got to go, but yeah. Any resources for road opening that I can make on my own? Thanks again. Well, that would depend on where you live. For road opening, we need Abre Camino. A road opener without Abre Camino is not a road opener. We can remove obstacles and do all kinds of similar things, but when we say the words road opening, we need the herb, the plant, whose name literally translates into road opening. Abre Camino in Spanish means road opening, a road opener. We need that plant. I recently tried to grow it. I ordered it from somebody in Florida. They sent the plant in a box. The plant had been, without light for 4 days when I transplanted it. Of course, it went into shock. I have now cut it all the way back to the roots, and I'm trying to care for the roots. We'll see if it works. Legend has it can be grown in Southern California, but I've had no luck yet. If anybody knows where to get any seeds, it'd be better growing it from seed, because then it would be more acclimatized to the environment here, but I haven't found any seeds yet. But at any rate, growing it or not, you need to obtain some Abre Camino if you want to do road opening. You cannot do road opening without that plant. What do you feel about cleansing churches from negative energy? Some of them just feel dirty. You absolutely could do that, but you need to wrap your head around a little thing. Okay, so our magical mind recognizes the meaning of words, whether or not we are using those words appropriately. Negative energy. Negative energy is produced by nature and natural phenomenon. We usually see that in the form of negative ions. Negative ions are what make us feel good. They cure depression and all known disease. Positive ions cause depression and most known disease. Now, whether or not you realize it or not is irrelevant. If you use the language improperly, the universe doesn't care about your intentions. It follows the language you use. So when you want to send a person positive energy because they're having a hard time, you must realize you are doing them a disservice. You are destroying them. Sending them positive energy. Positive energy is the energy that causes depression and disease. Negative energy is what cures depression, and disease. Now, if we use the words negativity and positivity, that would work. But we're not doing that. We keep using the word negative energy and positive energy, and we are using it inappropriately. And the universe recognizes the meaning of the words, even though we're using them wrong. The universe cares not about your intent. It has zero fucks regarding your intent. Precise speech leads to precise thought. We don't want to send people positive energy unless we're trying to hex them. We want to send them negative energy. I know it's a twist. I know a bunch of people can't wrap their fucking heads around it, but that is what it is. Positivity and negativity have a meaning that we're trying to use, but we are misinterpreting them as positive energy and negative energy, which are the opposites of what we are intending. And the universe gives zero fucks what we are intending. We're using the language improperly. Somebody said something, let's see. Baneful. Okay, I like to use the term baneful instead of negative energy. Yes, that works. If you wanted to banish procrastination, what would you fill the negative space with? Motivation. That wasn't hard. Motivation. You know, there's so much shit I don't accomplish in a day because I'm procrastinating. I'm loafing around doing fucking other shit. I'm procrastinating. I need motivation. Motivation's what gets me through that. So there's your answer to that. I'm gonna do one more question. And I gotta go. What was it? Not that long, 32 minutes, but still, it's a Sunday. I gotta do shit. All right, let me do one more question, then I gotta go. Please do mine. Okay, what's yours? Sasha. Okay. Well, you got my son's name, so I'm gonna wait for Sasha. Sasha gets the next one. Whoop, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Sasha's scrolling up. Should children be brought up in paganism? What if schools and their friends find this strange? No. Don't impose your religion on your children. Show them and let them choose. My daughter, 23 years old, who is named Ardea, the prime goddess of witchcraft. Last I heard, she was an agnostic. I don't know if that's changed, but I'm cool with agnostic. That's fine. You know, don't be a born-again Christian. I'll have a problem with that. But agnostic, atheist, whatever you want to fucking be. But, you know, don't try and impose your beliefs on your children. And this thing, don't take away Halloween and Christmas from your children because you're a pagan. They will never want to join your religion. You need to do Samhain, but you need to trick or treat as well. You need to do solstice, but give your kids Christmas as well, man. Their presents, that kind of stuff. Don't take that shit. If you take that shit away from them, they're never going to want to join your religion. You know, embrace both. Embrace the parts that are for the kids, like, you know, fucking Halloween. They gotta go trick-or-treating. My kid missed her first couple years of trick-or-treating because I was busy leading Samhain. And then I started to learn to, like, take her trick-or-treating around my shop and then come back and do the rituals for all the people. You know, I learned to make them both work. I do solstice, winter solstice and Christmas. There's a way to do both those as a pagan, but if you take away the few things that the kids get to where they get treats, they get presents, they get candy, take away those, they're not going to want to be part of your religion. So don't try, show them, be open with your beliefs with your children, but do not try and get your children to follow your beliefs. They will or they won't. That's sovereign. That's a sovereign individual. You can't, at a certain point, your children have their own lives. You don't dictate those lives to them. If you don't try and force them into that, if you don't try and make them be that, they'll come to that on their own later in life. I'm waiting for my daughter to do that. She's gonna come around on her own. Let them have their own thing. Let them figure out their own way of life, man. Don't try and indoctrinate them like the Christians do to their children. Don't do that. But don't try and take away the Christianized portions of the holidays because you're a pagan. They'll never want to follow this. If they can have their Christmas, they can have Halloween, Easter, they get more candy, all that shit. So let them have their shit too. They'll come around, or they won't, or they'll become their own individual thing, and that's what I would want for my children. I'm not trying to tell my children I have the one right way. Maybe they'll figure out a better way. Sasha, my youngest, maybe you'll figure out a whole different way, man. Let them have it. Don't try and indoctrinate them into your religion. Just be open with it. Show them it. Maybe they'll follow it. Maybe they'll have a leaning towards it. Maybe they won't. But it's their life. It's no longer yours. You do your parent shit. Raise them. At a certain point, life becomes their life. You gotta let that go. You can't control it anymore. And yeah, last I heard, my daughter's an agnostic, which means, maybe something's out there, maybe it's not. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. It's kind of open. It's kind of doubting, but extinct. It's like doubting, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know is a great philosophy to have. I gotta admit that I don't know often. My kid asked me the other day, it's like, what happens when you die? It's like, hey, there's these beliefs in my traditions, and other traditions have this belief, but ultimately, nobody comes back from the dead and tells us what happens. I don't fucking know. So I told my kid, I don't know. We have beliefs, we have theories. Ultimately, we don't know. We tell ourselves that after death, we will meet our loved ones again in the afterlife. We don't know that. We don't know. It's something we tell ourselves to feel better about what we don't know. We don't know. We tell ourselves, about an afterlife, either it's heaven or the Summerlands. We don't know. We don't fucking know. We tell ourselves that. We have those beliefs. We don't have any logical reason for our beliefs. We don't know what happens after death. We have a lot of theories, a lot of beliefs, but people don't tend to come back and tell us what happens. Whatever happens after we die, it's so good, nobody wants to come back here and deal with our shit anymore. This would have something to say towards ancestor worship, ancestor religions, and this kind of thing. Maybe they don't give a fuck anymore about any of our crap, about whatever goes on this fucking plane. I hope when I pass from this plane that I won't give a fuck about any of you. I hope that. I hope I'm on to something else. I'm on to being a star in the universe somewhere and producing planets and species on my planets. I hope for that. I don't hope for staying in this world, hovering above my offspring and seeing how they are doing and interacting in their lives and being, absorbed by their lives. I did what I could while I could, and now at least the daughter's life is her life. She turned 21, posted on her Facebook. I said, look, this is the best advice that a father can give in this day and age. Never leave your drink unattended. Don't just like put a napkin over top of it and go to the bathroom. Never leave your drink unattended. This is the wisdom I had to pass on to my daughter when she turned 21. This is the world we live in. This is reality. The reality is we don't have a fucking clue. We got a lot of theories. We got a lot of things that we tell each other to make us feel better about death. But we don't know. We don't know if we'll ever see our loved ones again in the afterlife. We don't know. We hope that, but we don't know. Nobody's ever come back from the dead and said, yeah, I'm over here hanging out with my ancestors and shit. We don't know. We may be released from this plane and become energy, and our energy may join the energy of the universe, which is what science believes now happens to us after death. We don't know. That's the ultimate fucking truth. So, got a good audience in here, but okay, I said one more. I'll give one more. One more question, and I gotta go start making dinner. So one more. I may have missed some, but here's your chance. Stone, scorpion bull. Oh, backwards. Yay. He deserved it, by the way. Okay, I forgot who we were talking about. Okay. Have I ever tried I haven't tried Witch Doctor Uchu's tradition, but I understand it. It makes a lot of sense. We've had him on my show, so. Witch Doctor Uchu in the Underground Railroad tradition, the entire problem with that text was that Witch Doctor Uchu challenged a narrative of extremely ignorant people. The narrative is that all white people are evil and all white people's ancestors owned slaves. And it's just not true. A lot of us, our ancestors were peasants and did not own slaves. A lot of us, our ancestors were indentured servants, which was a type of slave. but a higher level, I guess, of slave, but still a slave. But then Witch Doctor Utu comes along, and he puts out this thing about the Quakers, and how the Quakers were pinnacle in the Underground Railroad, getting the black people out of slavery here in the United States. And it only took 2 seconds of Googling to find out that he was right. The Quakers absolutely organized the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad could not have existed without landowners and black people, slaves, did not own land. The Quakers owned land and did not have slaves, and as such organized and provided their land as stopping points all the way up to Canada. There was no train, there was no actual railroad. It was moving people from place to place up to Canada so they could become free. This was done because of the Quakers. It could not have been accomplished without the Quakers, and the Quakers were white as fuck. Now, it doesn't get me off the hook. I have no ancestors that are Quakers that I know of, but most of my ancestors I know of were Irish peasants and didn't have slaves, so whatever. But Witch Doctor Utu's book challenged the narrative of the ignorant, a narrative that could be proven with 10 seconds of Googling. I Googled it. I found out about the Quakers' involvement in the Underground Railroad. It could not be denied. And that's where Utu run him up. He offended a bunch of people out there that have a narrative that does not withstand the straight faith test. You cannot say it. You cannot say all white people were evil and all white people's ancestors owned slaves with a straight face, because it's just not true. And that was entirely why Witch Doctor Utu's book was so controversial. It challenged people's narrative with facts, undeniable facts. And the narrative that all white people are evil and all white people's ancestors owned slaves cannot exist knowing what we know about the Quakers and Utu's book, bringing that to light. Even though we can Google it, just nobody's talking about it. He was the first to fucking talk about it. Now, other than that, Witch Doctor Utu lives at the end of one of the Underground Railroads. He's very in tune to the spirits of the Underground Railroad because he's in Canada, right where one of the Underground Railroads ended. He knows more about the Underground Railroad than any of us can ever know. But a bunch of people that think they know wanted to be all butthurt and be all pissed off. But the problem was, Witch Doctor Utu brought facts to the party. Not theories, facts. Indisputable facts. The Underground Railroad could not have existed without the help of the Quakers. Other people too, but the Quakers are most noted in that. Without white landowners throughout the South and all the way up to Canada, which is where the Quakers tended to fucking congregate, we could not have moved slaves, potentially free slaves, up to Canada to free them. White people had something to do with that. And it fucks up the narrative. And that's why Utu Witch Doctor's book is controversial. Fight me. You got a problem with what I said? Fucking fight me. Come on. Bring me some facts. because I got the facts. Those are the facts. Just the facts, man. Just the facts. All right. That was our last question. I got to go do stuff. I'll be back, but check it out. November 1st, probably Samhain, around midnight, my Year in a Day course will appear on gumroad.com/witchschool. WITCHSKEWL. And you can join it at that time if there's room. If you want to secure a spot and make sure you can get into the class before then, you got to contact me at witchschool@gmail.com. WITCHSKEWL@gmail.com. If you need to know more about the class, ask me for details. If you want to secure your spot in the class, let me know. But WITCHSKEWL@gmail.com. And God, it's like right around the goddamn corner, man. I'm so up to my ears in classes, and I got another one happening. But that's why I get paid for teaching witchcraft, y'all. All right. Hopefully next time you see me, I'll have my damn tooth fixed, but it's taking some time. Figure out who to do what with, but all right. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm gonna find that X. I'm gonna say marry me, marry part, marry meet again.